Hi, my name is Mike Picone, and I'm your host for Midlife Mastery. Discover the secrets to igniting deep transformation, turn challenges into growth, and realign yourself with purpose, passion, and power. Today, we have a very special guest for you, Catherine B. Roy. Catherine is a best-selling author, heart and mind coach, human potential thought leader, and award-winning artist and scientist whose stimulating, upbeat, and inspirational writings have helped countless people around the world. Catherine's Live From Your Heart and Mind book reached best-selling status on its release day. And her viral post, Love Yourself First, in just 7 hours reached 1.2 million people. As the author and founder of the Live From the Heart and Mind LHM community, Catherine is the guiding force behind the LHM system for increasing a person's emotional and intellectual capacity and inspiring them to be positive change and accomplishment. Please welcome Catherine B. Roy. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Hi, Mike. I'm great. How are you?
Good. Okay. Well, welcome, and thank you for being on the show today. And yeah, so can you tell me a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are today?
Well, Mike, if I may say, my life wasn't so easy, and a lot of difficult experiences actually put me on the stage and made all what you mentioned in the introduction. I will mention just a little bit of it. In 2008, I was diagnosed with the Coxsackie virus, which attacked my heart. And doctors told me I will live just a year and a half.
Oh.
As you can see, that was a long time ago, and I'm still here. And I'm doing what I really love. I'm helping people all around. And that experience really changed my life. Actually, that was the moment when, from one scientific person, I became a person who believes. And that was the moment of my awakening, actually. I started to learn about energy, about healing, about the power of thoughts and emotions. I spent some time in monastery with monks there, trying to help myself. And when I came back from that journey, I actually got results which were perfectly fine. So when I realized that I can change that, I realized that I can change actually whatever I wish. And I started to work a lot and to create Live From Your Heart and Mind system, which you mentioned.
Nice. So that caused a spiritual awakening. So before, did you feel that what the work you were doing was like a service to others or helping people?
Before that, I was extremely scientific person. In high school, I was in mathematical department. Later, I graduated economics and programming. So no, I was more like deep in science. But this happened and it changed everything.
So is that definitely a blessing in disguise, huh?
Well, yes. I was afraid in that moment, but actually it ended up like one of the best experiences in my life. Yeah.
So during the time that you were afraid was going on, did you feel that you just kind of surrendered it all to your higher self or higher being?
Yes. In that moment, when I went to monastery, actually, I didn't believe in that too. My mom took me there. She always believed, and she was always a spiritual person. I went because I didn't have other choice. I really was very sick. I was hardly walking, and it was very hard. After that, and what I lived there completely changed my perspective, and I understood that we as human beings are amazing, but we really don't know a lot. And sometimes it is better to connect with ourselves and with higher source to find answers than to go so deep in science or any other way than spiritual way.
So that's good. Your mom took you there. And I remember you telling me
Yeah, she did.
that's awesome. When we talked before, can you tell us a little bit about this place? Because you told me a story before, and it was just very, very interesting, of like the healing powers behind this place.
Yes, that is a place called Ostrog in Montenegro in Europe. And it is actually known a long time like a healing place. People go there to find solutions for their illness usually. There are always a lot of people. All of them, we sleep outside on open sky and in front of monastery. Monastery is high in the mountain, so there is no traffic, there is no civilization, nothing. And what I did actually was spending time with monks, praying and drinking. They call that the scent water, and consuming scent oils, and that's it. I really don't know what happened, to be honest, and I don't question anymore because I came back fine. Yeah.
And it was only a very short time. You said like 5 days?
5 days, yeah.
5 days. And a non-believer in any spirituality, and you come back just like
a completely different person. And then I started to work on this system because I found my way, and I got another problem, again, like very difficult, because doctors told us we can't have baby. And as you know, I'm mom of 5 months old baby, so that's not true again.
Yeah.
And actually in that time I started to do a lot of meditations. Oprah and Deepak were doing meditational challenges on Oprah channel, and I was doing with them at home 21-day meditation challenges. And in that time I started to receive information, if I may say so. When I connected with myself again, I started to receive a lot of informations about balance in life, about importance of balancing emotions and so on. And I started to write that. And that is the moment when my book was starting to develop itself, as you mentioned at the beginning in the introduction.
So when you started getting these messages and started writing it down, did you realize it was going to turn into a book?
No, I didn't understand. I didn't understand any of that. To be honest, because it was very complicated. And then I thought just, okay, but I get a lot of thoughts about this and I should write about that. So I started just to write notes. And then I realized that notes are in connection with my previous experiences, like the one I mentioned in monastery.
Yeah.
And I started to really write a book. First, it was a blog, but later, because there was a lot of people coming to follow my blog and my networks and so on, I decided to create a book. And because I mentioned I was studying at informatics and so on, I actually created algorithms for people, because I believe we are all different, and the same advice given to me and you, it doesn't have to give the good solution for both of us.
Yeah.
So I actually created a kind of a way for everyone to answer the questions and to find their own way of solving some kind of situations in life.
So then each person has a specific algorithm?
We all have the same algorithm, but we will all have this different kind of answers on questions which are in the algorithms. Okay. The basic is in connection with our inner self, working on meditation and breathing exercise, and then in that deep alpha state of mind, answering the questions which are in algorithms. So actually we are giving answers to ourselves, all of us, just we are finding our own way, not the way that someone advised us to do.
Gotcha. And then the book just explains the whole process of that, and everybody has their own specific questions, and then it just ends up being geared exactly towards that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was all just given to you. So that makes more sense now to me. That's because I remember when I first talked to you, I was like blown away by the 1.2 million people for your blog post. But now it just seems like you just tapped into something, you know, and it's just all coming through you. And this was, you know, your life's destiny, I guess. I don't know, whatever word you want to call it.
Well, I don't know, but I'm here still.
No, but that's just amazing that it's just all like, because overnight, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so touching on today's topic, what does midlife mastery mean to you?
Well, actually, I think it means change. That is the point in life when we realize the half of life is done.
Yeah.
So we have the rest of our life to make it matter. And we are in the perfect time to awaken ourselves, all of us, and to start some kind of global process of awakening and reaching the higher levels of positive energy. So I would say that is definitely change. We start to realize we are perfect as we are, and we should start to realize that we should love ourselves and work in reaching our goals or finding ourselves another way, which anything we wish, actually, because we have enough of life experience, and we can use it to create the rest of our life like we wish.
Yeah, I believe it's yeah, so the perfect time, you mean, and the perfect time in like this whole consciousness shift?
Yeah, yeah, actually. Yeah.
So for those, some of the audience, I'm sure, is not even aware of that. You want to just touch on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I believe we are all on the same path to a global awakening process, which is absolutely needed in this time. I believe so. I don't know if I mentioned, but I was born in the very beautiful country called Yugoslavia, which does not exist anymore. And during the 19th, we had a civil war here, and I survived the bombing. So actually, you know, in that moment, you don't have much. You have just your heart and your mind. And very young, you realize you have to awake because someone else is doing some things that you can't control. You are not the master of your life in that moment.
Yeah.
So I didn't need a long time to realize that. That is why I worked as a peacemaker with young people from Balkans to try to make new connections and new bridges and to try to make some kind of positive change. And I believe if every one of us do just a little change on positive side, everything would be much better. Actually, just to clean our space and then everything would be much better for everyone.
Well, yeah, it's the whole self-love. I mean, people don't realize exactly how important that is. I mean,
Yeah.
like being an American, like I don't own a TV, but I know like everybody kind of just like they go to work and they come home and they watch TV and they sit around and then they're like looking at all this horrible stuff going around in the world and they're saying, well, like, what can I do? I'm only one person, and they think that their self, their being can't make a difference, but they're in a position to be as helpful as anyone else in the entire world. Because
Yes.
if enough of us turn on and raise our vibration and get that love for ourselves, that's the only thing, in my opinion, that, and I know you feel the same way because we talked about this, that's going to change anything. When enough of these like light bulbs get turned on, you know, being us, then when it gets to a certain point, you hit that critical mass, and then it's going to be a snowball effect on everywhere else. And then like the global consciousness is you know the what is it, I can't think now. Well, we're getting mirrored back what all our thoughts and feelings are. So when enough of us get turned on, that mirror is not going to be one of death and destruction and war, you know. And I believe that it's all going on right now because these systems are breaking down, and they're breaking down. So like a new energy can come up. Some people call it a new earth, but whatever it's going to be, you know, where we're in more control of stuff, where people are going to be working together, where it's going to be more like unified, and it's going to be a beautiful place, but it's going to probably get a lot worse before it gets better.
Yes, unfortunately, you in that part you're right too.
Well,
But
because the systems have to break down.
yes,
How could these systems of destruction and greed, and and the global elite, how could they all stay in place the way they are and have that change? You can't have both. So
yes,
while they're trying grasping for straws and just making it more difficult, yeah, it's going to get worse. But it's going to come a time when that mirror is going to come back to us, and they're just not going to be around.
exactly. And I couldn't agree more. And when you mentioned my book, there is one part actually where I say that I believe that a lot of conflicts are created because of emotional unsatisfaction of a person.
Everyone.
Of everyone, yes.
Yeah.
So actually, if we increase our emotional potential and if we allow ourselves to find love inside, that was my viral post about that 1.2 million reach you mentioned, actually about self-love. I said, you are the only person who will spend your whole life with you. So if you wish to have good relationship with others, you have to have a good relationship with yourself first.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and that is the point. If we increase emotional intelligence and everyone reach the level of satisfaction within themselves, then conflicts on global level would, I can say, would not exist, but not in so high frequency. That is what those algorithms I mentioned are for, to teach people how they can reach a higher self-love within themselves. And then in that way, we clear practically our soul, and we don't have need to fight. We don't have need for any kind of things than positive. That is the point. And I believe we can do that because I worked in not so viral area as a peacemaker, but we did make change. We really managed to have connections with new people to try to heal those wounds that someone else made. And I strongly believe if everyone just try a little, just a little. There are a lot of groups on social networks and so on that can, together create a magic. Like my book became a bestseller on the release day. It was magic, but actually that was because of the support of all people from groups I belong.
Yeah.
And so everything is connected. And
Sure.
I was speaking, I created one video actually, and one lady heard that, saw that, and she quoted me. Actually, she made a poster with my quote that became viral. I didn't do that. She liked that and she posted that, and Simple Reminders Network, Brian McGill and Jen Young saw that and they shared that everywhere, and that is why it became viral. That is why I think that a person, no matter if we think we are small, we are not small,
No.
because all together we can really make difference. And I saw that with my eyes, so I believe it works. And if I can do that, everyone can. I'm absolutely sure.
Sure. And then the more people that do it, it just becomes out there,
Yes.
and then the easier it is for other people to pick up on it and do it themselves.
Yes, and to be honest, at the beginning, it's not easy. People come and say, but what are you doing? Why are you spending so much time online? Well, why don't you go out? But wait, you will understand when time comes.
Sure.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
And are you familiar with the transcendental meditation studies that they did?
No, I don't know.
So the one specifically, it was in Washington, D.C., and I forgot when it was, but it's not important. They brought in 4,000 meditators, and they figured out from several experiments before. I read about it in The Field. It was a book from Lynn McTaggart, an amazing book. But it was like, I think it was the square root of 1% people needed to change the energy of everyone else around them. So they brought in 4,000 meditators, and they set up shop, and they talked to the mayor and the chief of police, and they said, we're going to, over the summer, reduce the crime rate of Washington, D.C. by 25%. And they were like, there's no way, unless there's a blizzard for the whole summer, is that going to happen. So they actually did it. and they meditated, and they did it, and the crime went down, but as soon as they stopped, it increasingly went up, and it got back to normal. And so then not only were the mayor and the chief of police who were skeptical in the first, then they became advocates for future studies. And but that's the whole thing that's like the small version of actually what's going on right now. When enough of us get turned on, that's what's going to happen on a global scale. There's these little pockets of people all over the place, and then we have the internet connecting everybody. So now we become the global nervous system through this. And at once as a machine that was used to like monitor us and control us, and that's why it was like invented in the first place. It's actually having like a more positive effect, and it's like uniting everybody at the speed of information, like the speed of however fast the connection is. So it's it's a beautiful thing, and it's just like, but it is happening, and everybody thinks, oh, this and that, they see all this outside external stuff, but the people who are aware enough realizing that it is happening, and it is working.
It is working. I witnessed one case too, actually. It was not so global, but it happened just one morning that a friend of mine had a terrible car accident, and she hit with car in the tree, and then they didn't know if she will survive. So I actually invited people from my Facebook group to help with energy healing of any kind, because people believe in prayers or in Reiki or whatever.
Sure.
And I know there were groups in Philippines, in Italy, and in USA that were doing energetic transfers for her every day. And one lady even was telling me every little detail what is going on in her body and how it will going to change, and so on and so on. And from the moment they received her in ER, doctors told us it's very hard and probably she will not survive.
No.
But now she is, that was a year ago, she is doing fitness every day, almost every day. And she is doing great. She started to work again, and she is like born again. I really witnessed that, and I know people who did that. So, everything is possible. I strongly believe in that. And if we all connect on a higher frequency of energy, we can make miracles. I'm sure of that.
Sure. And then people like who are having, like your friend had a hard time, and you had your hard time to get woken up. And that, I think everybody, needs some kind of, not needs, hopefully you can do it more subtly, but if it doesn't, then, Spirit may have another plan for people. And it might have to be with some tragic incident or a huge obstacle, or maybe a divorce or a hospitalization. I mean, any of these things can trigger, any of this deep, like traumatic stuff and suffering can trigger an awakening,
I sometimes say, sometimes, please learn from my experience. Don't have
to go through it yourself.
Don't go there. But unfortunately, usually people need their own experience.
Oh, they do, and they need to be, I say kicked in the head hard enough to actually get it, and I was always a person who never really took the subtle hints from Spirit too well. I always kind of needed to take it to the extreme, but it was kind of good because it made my life much more flavorful. But now, not no more. I thank for all these next, further duration to have the subtle, I'm paying attention now, so we don't need to go that hard.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it was just really, really tough. But that's why I picked this topic for this summit, Midlife Mastery, because I believe at the midlife point, it is the prime point in someone's life for transformation, because you don't make the decision. Spirit comes and gives you, like, if you're on the right track in the first place, you might get a little nudge and, like, hey, this way, but the farther off you are from finding your purpose and your passion, or not being a spiritual person or having no clue, then the harder it's going to affect you, because you realize that, you're having to, like, unravel the ego, basically kind of let it go. And when you're younger, you need to build that up, but at this point, you need to let it go and find that spiritual presence within all of us and allow it in our self. And for people who don't have that and their life ain't working out, they don't have anything to grasp on because they don't know anything else. So
Yes.
it's more important that and then they come to healers and coaches and, self-help books. And there's a whole, there's millions of people out there now to help, and you have the internet to connect everybody. But it's more important now than ever in this point in time to make that shift and live the second half of your life being productive, realizing we don't have any more time to waste, and
Yes.
and just getting on track. And then we could shift this whole thing, pretty quick.
Yes.
And,
Excellent. Yes.
and that's it.
I absolutely agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
And that's what I tell people for, because my next question was going to be about igniting deep transformation, but that's all we have to do is work on ourselves. We are the people we're looking for,
Yeah.
We just need to find that within ourselves, connect with our higher self.
Yes.
And, okay, how do you do that if you don't know what you're doing? That's when you need to go online and find the right book, find the right coach, find whatever resonates with you, because for everybody has a certain place where they are, and certain people and books and everything else, certain tools are going to resonate with different people, but there's every one of them out there at anyone's disposal. And that's what I encourage people to do. If you're stuck, just find something online that works for you and go there. Just start with one small thing.
Yes.
Whatever it is, and like we talked before about, you just got to find that one thing that works for you, that one little happy place, and work from there. You put a smile on your face one day when you're not feeling so good, and, that could start be a catalyst to change yourself,
Yes, exactly. And everything is online. Actually, we can find like I did back there. Just find what suits you best. You don't have to believe in this or that or this way or that way. Just find your way. And someone said, "Be the change you want to see." So that is the point. Transform yourself into the person you want to be. Don't just complain and complain. Otherwise, you will not. You will spend the rest of your life just complaining. And that's not good for anyone, not for yourself or people around you. So actually, if we just accept the point that we should search for our way, and awakening process will start, I think everything can be much, much better. Mother Teresa said, I believe, just clean your courtyard or clean your home and start from there. Everything else will just come along with you. You will meet people. If you don't know how, I had no idea I will write a book.
Yeah.
I was a programmer. I mean, what? So, but I started and I finished it. And a lot of people supported me, and that feels amazing. Because, when you receive so much love from people you helped, you just wish to give more, and you do. And when you give more, you receive more love, and that love is all around. And it is enough if I write just "I love you" online somewhere. I get like 1,000 responses. That is even if you don't feel good, you will start to feel good. Or when you write "I need a hug" and 1,000 people come just to give you a hug online, it's amazing, really. And you just start the process, and all of them start the process with you, and everything changes. Even if it's raining outside, you feel like it is sun. So I really lived that, and I really believe in what I'm saying, and I absolutely agree with everything you said just.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically like, each one of our chakras, it's like we're different energy points. We just need to raise our vibration up. The first three are all survival. And then once we can get that higher, they're the more spiritual ones. And the heart, in my opinion, being the most important one. If you can connect to that, you have everything. And
exactly. And you are happy and satisfied with yourself. And that you start to shine that energy all around you, and you attract people who shine in the same energy, and that is the miracle.
They'll resonate with that frequency that you're giving off, whatever you're coming from, whatever you can embody yourself, you give out, and then other people will resonate at that same frequency, and then that's it. You attract your tribe. Like, your tribe's huge now.
Yes, but I never paid attention on those who said, you will not do that, or that is not good, or you don't have idea what are you talking about. I always paid attention to those people who support and who give love and who spread that positive energy. And that is how that process started to evolve. Actually, when I was pregnant, I did a kind of test, and doctors told me, I will quote, if this was the chance for plane to crash, I would not sit in that plane. Actually, what she was trying to say to me is that my baby will not be okay and that I should not have that baby.
She told you, once you got pregnant, she told you not to have your baby?
Yeah, because tests, when I did the tests at the beginning, they were not so good.
Okay.
But I didn't give up, because before that, they told me I can have baby. So actually, I don't trust so much that kind of medicine anymore.
No.
And I came again to the same point like the every time before, and that was love for myself. And I was giving love to that baby in my tummy, and he is perfect now. He
Sure.
is more good, and he is very healthy, and everything is perfect. So actually, that is the point. We should not pay attention to negative. We should try to find second opinion, or to find our own way, and to concentrate just on the positive things. That is the only way. Otherwise, we will lose energy, and we will just not succeed in anything.
Yeah, I mean, you proved it yourself. I mean, how many
Unfortunately,
doctors can you look back on and say, come on? Obviously, they're not telling you,
yeah, and I just say, oh, okay, God, I had enough. Now, please let me live a little. I learned the lesson, I believe now. I would like to live a little without all these, but okay.
Yeah, you had to be so happy when you got pregnant. I can't even imagine how that must have felt.
I didn't believe. They convinced me. Yeah, I didn't believe. I did test again.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
Oh, internet connection unstable. We there? Okay.
just a little, but it's fine. It's fine here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it just had a little sign up for a second. Okay. So, So as far as like people going through their midlife, do you think there are specific signs that people should look out for? Like, because a lot of people don't know they're actually going through it, you know? And I knew for me, it took about 1.5 years through my transition, my first one, to realize what it actually was. So I can help people, like when I see younger people like going through it, I can tell them, but like, how does one figure it out for themselves if they have no clue what's going on?
Well, actually, if it doesn't hit them, not see that by themselves until it is deep in the transition, I believe. But if we try them, like for example now, I believe that nature gave us the perfect signals in our, when we start to feel differently in our body, we should realize it's starting to change something. You know, a different kind of things can show us that. For example, we start to feel fear in situations we didn't have fear before, or I don't know, our body change in some kind of way, or we notice some kind of differences, or anything. Actually, for me, it was very hard experience. But for my friend, for example, that was a very high level of fear. She started to fear of everything. She started to fear to go to her boss and ask for any kind of help, for assistance on her job. So if we are stepping into some kind of, I can say a middle age, but 30, 40 years, we should pay attention more on ourselves. and we should look ourselves more in the mirror, and we should see if we are still happy or we see in the mirror a person who is not happy anymore. So why? What happened that happiness is not there anymore? And usually that is the point when we should start to change. For myself, for example, I wasn't happy anymore. All those experiences were very difficult, and I just wake up and I see myself and I don't understand why I woke up. But now I I can't wait a new day. I can't wait a new day to begin, because I know that I'm creating it.
Yeah.
And
well, that's it.
That is the point. Yeah.
Once we realize we're in the driver's seat.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of looking at all these external things and saying, this is happening to us, this sucks, this is, this is doing this. And, once we realize we're in the driver's seat and we're co-creators and we're doing all this and we're steering in whatever direction we want, then it can become a beautiful thing. And for me, it was like, I wasn't content, and I started getting a little depressed, and I'm like, like, what's going on? And, but yeah, everybody feels it a different way, I'm sure. Oh, excuse me. Okay, Catherine, thank you very much for joining us here. We got to wrap things up. And everyone, you can find Catherine at www.catherinebroy.com. And would you like to share your free gift with us?
Yes, Mike, I would like to share my book, which you mentioned in the introduction. It is a Live from Your Heart and Mind book. Actually, it is a system for emotional and intellectual development. And what I'm offering there are my experiences, as well as LHM formulas, like advices in every important field in life, and LHM algorithms for emotional development, which gives a tool for everyone to find their own way. On the other side, I am giving the methods for intellectual development, IQ training questions, and associative memory. So in the same time, we are increasing emotional and intellectual level, set those entities in balance, and rise up on the higher level of potential, so that we can actually achieve everything we wish in our life. I believe that is one of the very potential ways of doing things. It is the way I did things. And as I have received a lot of positive reviews from other people, they also manage. So I'm giving it from my heart, and I wish to for everyone who reach it to find their own way to happiness like I did.
Well, that's very generous of you, and I'm sure everyone will really appreciate that.
Thank you,
and could be very, 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 very benefit anybody who gives it a shot. Okay, well, thanks everyone for being with us here today at Midlife Mastery, and thank you again, Catherine. It was a pleasure having you, and stay tuned for more incredible interviews. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mike. Goodbye.